I'm really blown away by what I saw today. I think the Night City Wire wasn't that exciting. No, I'm more talking just about the overall scope of Cyberpunk 2077. Some lucky people were already able to play 4 to 5 hours of the game, and they all saw completely different things and touched on a lot of interesting details. So in this video I compiled a lot of interesting info and will also show you brand new gameplay from the opening part of the game. So a like on the video would be super appreciated, and let's go. I'm doing a giveaway for a 2020 game of your choice on your platform of choice, and I won my May giveaway and chose Cyberpunk. And you can win Cyberpunk during this current giveaway as well. All you need to do is follow the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win, and be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter, and good luck. I love the new trailer they released because it shows a ton of different scenarios, and really when I saw it for the first time I was like, whoa, they are showing quite a lot. But turns out that this was all just from the prologue of the game, but from the 3 different backgrounds that you can choose. And we already knew about this thanks to footage that they released last year and how you would have different dialogue options depending on your choice. But now we learned that all the 3 backgrounds have a different starting point. Like for example, if you choose corporate, you start in an apartment, likely comparable to the footage that we saw some time back. And then you are asked to take out a person and have to meet with Jackie in person at Lizzie's bar. And you go there via an AV, a flying limo, and then you already get an amazing look at the city and the many targeted ads on the billboards, and just get an idea of the overall scale of this world. And these neon lights mean that we are close to a bar from the Mox faction, and we actually already discussed this faction briefly in a previous video. They basically protect working guys and girls from harassment, so they are present in this club. But actually before we reach the club, you have an encounter with some basketball players who aren't happy that you parked the AV on their playground. So then you have a reactive choice where you can do an attack, and these guys are already angry and coming towards you, and actually doing the attack will solve this encounter. And then when you reach the club, you have 2 ways to interact with the bouncer. They're going for the true corporate way, where you can just say, hey, watch the AV, I wasn't asking. Luckily the bouncer doesn't want any trouble, so we get into the club, and thanks to our mission objective we see that we have to meet with Jackie. And I like how the line like perfectly tells you on the minimap where you need to go. And you likely remember this character, right, from a lot of previous footage and actually the cinematic trailer as well. Well, what we now learned about Jackie is that your relationship with him is actually different depending on the background that you choose at the start of the game. Like here as a corporate, you're actually already colleagues with him, but as a street kid, things are different. You namely start in the underbelly of the city. The game actually starts by looking in the mirror and you take some drugs, and then you are asked to save someone but steal a car first. And actually when you are about to steal this car, you meet Jackie, who was about to do the same. So then you actually meet him for the first time here, where again, if you chose the corporate life path, then you would already know him for some time. So these opening areas for each backstory should take around the 30 to 40 minutes according to skill up before you get to the main arc. And really the most noteworthy opening might be for the Nomad background, because then you do not start in Night City, but actually outside of the big city in the Badlands. Here you also look in the mirror and are then removing a patch and are asked to fix a car. But you also can drive around in this deserty Badlands area outside of the city, and actually at some point during this opening mission you have a car chasing scene. IGN did note in their preview that the driving could still use some work, like it wasn't bad or anything, but it also was kind of hard to control the vehicle. And really overall my biggest takeaway from the Night City Wire and just all the new gameplay that we saw today is that it's way more like GTA than I first thought. It feels like Grand Theft Auto 6 in the far future. Like especially driving around in the city, and you can by the way steal cars as well. There are radio stations that you can switch between via the D-pads, and there should be quite a lot of them. but there should also be a GTA-style wanted system, where if you run too many people over or kill random civilians, you'll get a wanted status and cops will come and chase you. And sure, like riding away and hiding can let you get rid of them, but the cool twist is that you can actually also help the cops by stopping crimes that are going on in the city. So do specific bounties or stop active street crimes that you can run into while exploring the world. And if you are successful, then you will be rewarded with eddies, the currency in this game. There should also be power psychos that you can take out, so people who went completely crazy thanks to their powers, should be a high bounty on them. As you expect from open world games, there are also gang hideouts that you can clear. And we actually just got a bit of new combat footage. But really overall, in many of the previews, they said that there wasn't a lot of combat in the early hours. So it seems kind of a slow start in that regard. Although the many locations and story elements that you will experience should already be really awesome. So again, we got a small bit of new combat gameplay that looks quite cool. We have to save a monk in this instance here. And the weapons early on are pretty standard, although we of course already know that this will change up later on in the game. Like in previous footage, we already saw more high-end weapons from the many weapon manufacturers that all have their special traits. But overall, what should make the regular shooting way more exciting is the cyberware. So augments that you can give to your character, like the Mantis Blades. We saw them before and now we see them again, and it looks like a pretty early ability actually, because this character seems to be level 12. And there are of course other things you can do as well, like you can quick hack enemies thanks to demons and force enemies to shoot themselves or blind them. Even according to Eurogamer, and I will link to their video in the description, you can simulate an SOS signal from their squad, so they're kinda like, what the heck is going on? Abilities cost memory, so that's basically mana, and there should also be a whole perk tree that can actually enhance the regeneration of that. And overall, while we did not get a lot of new looks at the customization system, like I'm curious if the menu will be upgraded compared to last year, but we did learn about some things you can unlock, like being able to double your carrying capacity or a way to regenerate health in combat. There's also crafting in the game, so you can for example make special items with mods already on it. And overall, a big takeaway from the previews was that 4 hours was barely enough to do anything in this game, and that if you want, you can really get lost in this world. Like you could also meet fighters for example, and then join an underground fight club and do missions for that. Sounds really cool. Another new gameplay element they introduced today are brain dances that let you relive specific memories of characters, so you can then search clues that the characters holding the memory did not spot the first time around. But if you watched that Night City Wire, then you likely already noticed that it took up a really long time of that 25-minute stream, while it was not that exciting to watch at all. And it doesn't seem that exciting to play either. We got Blessing Adeoye Jr. from Kinda Funny, who says that lore-wise it's such a cool idea, but playing those sections didn't feel as satisfying. And looking at it kinda gave that away already, like you're moving this timeline, searching for things, while there's really not a lot to interact with. And this is really the first time that people outside of CD Projekt Red can share feedback. So hopefully they look at this and can maybe tweak these sections, make them a little bit more exciting and not as long as they are right now in the game. But yeah, that was basically the only thing that I saw where I was like, I'm not sure if I like spending more than a few minutes in this. While the rest of the game looks absolutely insane, and I totally think that this will push the open world genre forward in many ways, especially in terms of layers. Like, the amount of ways you can approach a mission should be insane. And also, this was just one of the districts of the game, while there are 6 in total in Night City. So that already promises an insanely large world. Also, Johnny Silverhand, aka Keanu Reeves, was not spotted in this early part of the game at all, so he will not show up in the first 4 to 5 hours. IGN did mention that they heard him on the radio, but that was really it. So My tip to you is better save up those vacation days for November 19th when the game comes out, because we will be playing this game for months and months and months. And that's also why I said that launching another game around this is just a not so good idea. Like, everyone will be playing this. So I made a video about that, by the way, why Ubisoft is not really happy with the new release date. You can watch it by clicking on the screen. Of course, subscribe for everything on Cyberpunk. We'll be making way more videos as we get closer to the release. Like the video to support the channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.